Alright, so as you already know, we are in the multimedia era of Sonic, which began in 2020 and is continuing for now, which of course means one thing. We get the multimedia first, and the games, well, I guess when we feel like it, when we got some spare time on the side, maybe on the weekend, you know, that kind of like task you gotta do that you just can't bother to do when you're busy with like actual work, so yeah, maybe on Friday, Saturday, I'll do that thing. Yeah, the games will get revealed then, you know, so naturally, we've had to accept that we'll get Frontiers and Origins gameplay whenever the fuck they feel like it, and that's just how it is. Right now it's movie season and we got a Knuckles spin-off on the way, we got Prime, so we kind of just have to wait until most likely close to E3 or during E3 season, not E3 itself because E3 is dead, until we get gameplay. Now obviously I've been known to be a little bit quote-unquote impatient for gameplay. I say quotes because I don't think I'm being impatient. I mean, it's been 4.5 years, but nonetheless, people exist who are not happy with the wait, and then on the other side you've got the defense squad who defend the wait, and then you got the people in the middle who are just kind of neutral. Anyway, one of my haters is in the defense squad. Let me not say haters, I don't like using that word, but someone who is not the fondest of your boy has written a big post on Reddit, and it's gaining a lot of traction. People are sharing it around on Twitter because, you know, the defense squad wants something that's well articulated for their defenses other than, do you want another 06? So this one is a bit more well put together, and it's a big Reddit post trying to explain the marketing for SEGA and I guess why we should trust them. I don't know, I haven't read it yet because I figured why not save it for a video. So we're gonna get into this article and then I guess I can give my thoughts and we'll see if it could convert me into track 3 of Get Rich or Die Trying. But if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please make sure to subscribe. We're trying to hit 100,000 subscribers and hopefully 70,000 subscribers before Sonic Frontiers comes out. Also, let me know if you want me to do an unboxing of the McDonald's Sonic Happy Meal in the UK. I mean, I tried to do one today, was supposed to get one. Someone told me that it was available and then instead I get a Shrek Happy Meal and a Sonic is coming soon on the side. So that one really hit deep when they put the Sonic on the cover and it wasn't actually Sonic. But you know what, fine, let's not talk about that right now. We got the article on Reddit and it says Sonic Frontiers explaining marketing for a multimedia IP, since obviously SEGA can't explain themselves because of this fucking bullshit. Development and changes since Forces. Oh, there's been changes since Forces, definitely. Hi, I'm not talking about all that shit. I know a lot of people have been waiting for Frontiers information since the proper announcement trailer. Proper. And what I'm about to explain at the end of the day is pure defense. However, if I can help put some worries to bed, that will be great. Alright, so it says development time. There are a good chunk of leaks dating back as early as February 2020 mentioning that Sonic Team had been sending out builds of Frontiers for people to playtest. There was a leak in particular that detailed Sonic Frontiers as a part of a survey of titles that people could choose from to see be created in the future, and that leak was posted on November 2019. I believe I covered that leak. That was the one of the multiple concepts, right? Now, video game builds take around 1 to 3 days to make. Was that supposed to be days or years? Video game builds take 1 to 3 days? You mean like an update to a game that they're developing, or just because I'm guessing I'm reading that wrong. Anyway, so it's possible the game's core mechanics could have been made at any point within the team, maybe even before the survey was released. Now, traditional dev time for open world games take 3 to 5 years. However, with how development has lasted with Frontiers, I have the feeling that Sonic Frontiers takes elements of open world design, but isn't open world. I mean, I could have seen that coming from a mile away. I mean, the cyberspace levels are supposed to be, hopefully, the main gameplay is actual just regular Sonic levels, and the open world is just more of an extended hub world, like just taking what they did in Adventure but making it bigger, but the main gameplay is hopefully not that. It's very large open areas like Super Mario Odyssey, just probably larger. This would make sense since from the leaks it looks like there is 4 islands to explore, and if they are decently sized, it gets rid of the large dead space open world games always have, as the smaller size allows objectives, quests, and puzzles challenges will be closer together. Now, I actually don't disagree with this because I said that they shouldn't be copying Breath of the Wild. If they want to copy something, it should be Mario Odyssey, because Mario Odyssey was not as open as Breath of the Wild. It's way more focused and more sandboxy, but not as huge open world. And another benefit of that is that there's more variety in the environments. Like with Odyssey, it's just like several different smaller kingdoms, so you get a ton of variety going from one kingdom to another. Whereas Breath of the Wild, I'm not saying there's no variety, but it's a more massive, bigger space essentially. And for me, that's less interesting. That's a personal preference. I know some people prefer that. I'm just saying that I'll pick Odyssey over Breath of the Wild any day. If I had to guess, then I'm going to assume that each island is as large as the Great Plateau from Breath of the Wild. There's a reason they say open zone, and I don't think it's upon, again, that's not how you spell emphasis, on think. However, it might actually be fully open world. Now, from what we have seen, this game looks to have a lot of DNA from Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis, and it's not surprising that teams within SEGA would exchange tools to each other. From what I can find regarding the development time of New Genesis, there's actually nothing I can find. You just said from what you can find, there's nothing you can find. However, if they have the majority of the tools needed, then maybe they can skim off a few months off from dev, since a game like Breath of the Wild had to develop a lot of stuff just so they could build off of it, while with Sonic Team, they already had another team develop another open world title, while they also made their updated lighting and graphics engine. Now it says differences compared to Sonic Forces. Well, hopefully it's better. Since Forces wrapped up development, a lot has changed in the Sega. Yeah, always something changes after a mid-game, right? Restructure and yada yada yada. During 2018, a restructure within Sega Japan had taken place. There were 3 parts in Sega Japan. You had CS1, CS2, and CS3. Remember, Sonic Team is part of CS2. Like, CS1 is RGG Studio, who developed games in the Yakuza franchise and revived Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. That was a great game, physics be damned, but still. CS2 is Sonic Team, which while also work on Sonic, also developed Puyo Puyo and Secure Wars, which is what I've been trying to tell people when they say, oh, they're taking the time with Frontiers, it's going to be a masterpiece. I've been saying that Secure Wars came out in December 2019. So this whole notion that they've just been working on Frontiers and nothing else, when they dropped Secure Wars in 2019 and it's the same CS2 that Sonic Team is in. But let me keep going. CS3 handled titles like Shining, Valkyria Chronicles, Hatsune Miku, and others. With this restructure, CS3 collapsed and was merged with CS2, the Sonic developers. So yeah, their poor decisions making games like Forces caused a collapse and they had to restructure. But this is the company we should be trusting. Let me keep going. Now, depending on which way you look at things, this could be a good thing, as CS2 have more people to help development. However, there's also the chance of it not changing much. A high chance, with another possibility of new blood being hired within the team. And hey, they brought back one of Sonic Adventure's field artists, so maybe old blood came back too. Either way, the team is bigger. Yes, they did bring back one of the Adventure field artists, but unfortunately, that doesn't erase the fact that Kishimoto is directing this whole thing, and his track record is still not good, in my opinion. There's also the fact that their resources are there finished. If it's true that they are using the tools from Phantasy Star New Genesis and Hedgehog Engine 2, then they need to spend most of their dev time working on the actual gameplay, content, and etc. Since the engineers have more free time this time around, and they had the time to implement more features like a proper day and night cycle, like what was supposed to be in 06, shown at a demo in TGS. I mean, if they have so much time, and they've been working on this for so long, you would think we would have seen something, but let me keep going. Also remember that the game has had more dev time compared to Forces, and it actually shows. They're referring to the fact that they spent a year on Forces even though we waited 4, because they were spending time on the engine apparently. So what I'd say we compare Sonic Frontiers announcement trailer to is Sonic Forces debut trailer. One was fully CGI, while the other had in-game environment shots. That's a huge difference. Oh, that's a cheat, because technically Frontiers was revealed in May 2021 with a trailer that told us nothing but Sonic runs in forests. So you can't be like, well, technically Frontiers trailer is better than Forces. The first time we heard about both of those games, one was a fully CG trailer like the Forces debut trailer, and then the other was also fully CG, but actually just showed absolutely nothing. Like, at least the Forces CGI trailer told us that Classic Sonic was in the game, so we had a reason to be upset. Anyway, let me not get too ranty, man. There's so much more to read. I don't want to just because I could go off on multiple tangents already, because my head is boiling. When Sonic Forces announcement trailer released, development for what we've been told started around the time the teaser released, while Sonic Frontiers was at least in development for a year. This is kind of the problem. Like, when people try and defend Sega and they be like, they know what they're doing, you don't know game development, Prem, shut the fuck up. And it's just like, this company gave us a teaser trailer for a game that they hadn't even started developing properly yet. I just find that hilarious. I actually find that hilarious. We were looking at that Project 2017 trailer, like, oh my god, they got some heat for us, and they're sitting in there, and it's like empty kitchen. Like, they ain't even turned the cooker on yet. They get into pots and pans, Anyway, marketing a multimedia IP. Sonic has changed since Forces. Oh, we know that. We're in the multimedia era now. Sega's made a proper effort to make this franchise more valuable, profitable, and most importantly, popular. And they have succeeded. Sonic has gone multimedia, and with that comes changes to accommodate that. Sonic's marketing has changed priorities, and it asks one question, and that is, how can we keep Sonic in people's heads? From what I can see, Sega is working closely with Paramount, Netflix, and IDW and its collaborators to make sure it keeps a structured and even plan. Let's go through it. Sonic Movie 2 goes full gear with its marketing push during the spring of 2022, spreading the franchise into more avenues with the help of Paramount's PR team and whoever strikes down on videos, collaborating with McDonald's, Candy Crush, and much more. Trailers, ads, and more spread go. Yes, we know how good marketing looks. Like, we get it, okay? It's the opposite of what Sonic Team do. Hype dies down near the end of April. A potential Sonic Central in May and summer gaming events will distribute news on Sonic Origins, Prime, and Sonic Frontiers to fill out that empty dead space, keeping the franchise relevant more in the gaming sector than through the movie sector. Sonic Origins could well release during summer to help further evenly spread out large Sonic content throughout the year. Sonic Prime drops during the fall/autumn of 2022. Netflix will do its flex of marketing through online ads and app announcements. Since it's a show, it could either release everything. It's Netflix. It's everything at once. That's how Netflix have always done it. Unless Netflix don't have the full rights, then they do the one episode a week thing. But if it's like exclusively a Netflix show, then it's at once, which would even spread out the talk over social media and pass around of words to keep up momentum. Sonic Frontiers releases in winter, and well, you get the idea. If this is indeed the route they go, then remember what I'm about to say. Multimedia makes every part of a franchise matter the same amount. Either games, movies, shows, comics, merch, all matter in the marketing push, and when something is close to releasing, other parts will slow down so that everyone can focus on the next thing for the IP. It's happening. Ugh, God, I hate reading this. Oh my god, this is the same people that showed the movie trailer at the game was the same day we got the Frontiers trailer. So clearly this whole we have to keep them segregated, like separate but equal on some 1940s type shit is not true. We got a Frontiers trailer the same day as a movie trailer in December at the Game Awards, right? There was nothing stopping them from showing gameplay in December other than the fear of showing mid gameplay. Not we don't want to step on the toes of the movie, right? The only reason they would be afraid to step on the toes of the movie is because they feel like the quality of the gameplay is not on par with the quality of the movie, and they don't want negativity surrounding Sonic, because for the first time in a long time, people are smiling about Sonic. Hell, I was smiling about Sonic when I saw the movie, and not having Frontiers gameplay in my head made it easier for me to smile because I didn't have to think about Frontiers gameplay being mid. Anyway, let me keep going. When Origins is close to release, details on Prime and Frontiers will slow down. When Prime comes out, details will still come, but slower to make sure the shows get more attention since it's the most relevant thing at the time. They added that SEGA and Sonic Team is hiding gameplay because they're scared. It's really ignorant to the bigger picture. If that was the case, then Bethesda is quaking in their boots and Starfield comes out on the 11th of November. It's Bethesda. Their track record is not the same as Sonic Team's track record. Like, let's not pull that other companies have done. Oh my god. I know people feel Sonic Team doesn't deserve to be secretive, but most game studios are like that. It's the industry norm. It isn't that deep. And most games released aren't masterpieces, and yet comparing it to what other people do, oh my god. You don't have to be an expert at game development to know basic shit, okay? It's like telling someone who tries food and says the food tastes like shit, well, you're not chef, so what can you say? Like, you know, like at the end of the day, X company spends 4 to 5 years making a game and it's good or even great or a masterpiece. Sega spends 4 to 5 years making a game, we get forces. I'm within my right to say Sega did something wrong. I don't need to know the ins and outs of game development to be aware of that shit, okay? Insomniac teased Wolverine without showing gameplay. They teased Spider-Man 2 without showing gameplay. Yes, other companies do it, but when Sega does it, their track record is shit. So the moment they do it, it just shows a lack of confidence. Now that's not a guarantee that Frontiers is gonna be bad. I mean, right now the biggest sign that Frontiers is gonna be bad is Kishimoto, but it's not a good sign when a company that's been putting out weak shit for a decade is still withholding gameplay as if they're Insomniac. When even Nintendo with Breath of the Wild 2 have been so transparent. Even when they delayed the game to 2023, they still showed new gameplay. It's like, look, we need more time to make this thing a masterpiece, okay? But we're still gonna show you how it looks. It's looking fire, okay? You can take a look, but we can't give it to you just yet. But you know that we gonna give you heat when it's ready. Nintendo don't even have to do that shit because people will trust it, but they still do. Now I know what you might say, but they could have released Frontiers gameplay alongside the movie. Yeah, they could have, but they didn't. And it's smart they didn't. No matter how good Frontiers plays and looks, it would have been overshadowed by the movie, and that puts the game at risk of being swept away. If I personally had the choice of saving gameplay to debut somewhere else in its own legs or alongside the movie's climax of marketing, I'd wait to show later. You might also ask, what about the Game Awards 2021? They showed off both there. Why couldn't they do it again? Because 2021 was irrelevant to 2022's market. Oh my god. Oh my god. You just said that Sonic Frontiers was one of the top 3 game trailers most watched online during the Game Awards, and you cited a tweet that put it at the top 3, above the Elden Ring story trailer and above Wonder Woman, and yet at the same time you said that it would have been bad if they showed gameplay at the Game Awards alongside the movie because it would have been overshadowed by the movie. Yes, the movie was going to overshadow it because it's a movie. Casuals watch that shit. But overshadowed by the movie doesn't mean that it would have suffered as a result. I mean, overshadowed just means that the movie would have gotten more attention. That would have happened inevitably. That's true. But a good game alongside it would gather more eyeballs than just a CG trailer or no trailer. So to say it like, oh, if they had shown some amazing gameplay in December alongside the movie, that we would have forgotten about it because there was a movie, it's not even true. It would have put Frontiers in people's heads like it did with the CG trailer, except with gameplay so people would actually know if it's going to be good or not. Instead of just, open world Sonic, sounds interesting, but nothing else to go on. And they could have still showed more gameplay later. It's not like they have to save this one piece of gameplay for the trailer, and if they show it in December, and they can't show some more gameplay in like March or April, like they could have had another trailer in April to show before the movie in the cinema, but you know, it's a Sega we're talking about. And let me say this, a game company who isn't confident in their product wouldn't be showing it off in front of millions of people, especially at an event like the Game Awards. They weren't showing it though. They weren't showing it. They were hiding it while telling you it existed. It was CG and then in-game graphics without actual gameplay. How does that scream confidence to you? They just told you it existed. Sonic Frontiers does have a lot going for it. However, all we can do is wait. We can't say this game will be good or bad. All we can do is give our thoughts on what is currently shown, which is like nothing. Izuka mentioned how he wanted Frontiers to be the groundwork of Sonic titles for the next decade, and it's important that we help the Sonic team take the good elements of Frontiers to further develop in the future. How can we help them when we haven't seen the game? Like, if the game was coming late 2022 and we saw it in late 2021, maybe our feedback could have improved the game. Maybe we could have said, this looks bad in the game and this looks good, do more of this good thing, do less of that bad thing. And if we had said that in December 2021, right now they'd be 4 months into fixing that shit. Like, even with Forces, there's people that play like the E3 demo back in 2017 and said that the control was worse than the final version. Like, they complained about the control and it got improved in the final version. Now, the final version control was still shit, but apparently it was less shit than the E3 version. I'm just saying, like, had we seen some flaws, we could have done something about it. Like, imagine if the first Sonic movie, they didn't show us the design, like they just hid it. It needs to be a surprise. They didn't show anything about the first Sonic movie. The hideous design was just unknown to us at all, because we found out about the hideous design from the initial teaser in late 2018 and then eventually in 2019, and then they delayed the movie and it came out 2020 instead of 2019. Imagine the movie was coming out late 2019 and just like 1 month before the movie was dropping, then we saw the design. There was no way they were gonna fix it on time. No way. I mean, even with the time that they had, they still had to push the movie back. But there would be no way that it would have gotten fixed had they just done a, let's wait till the end to show the trailer. And then that movie would have become a laughing stock and a flop, and they would have been like, yep, another video game movie was bad. Who would have thought that Sonic was gonna come and save video game movies? Ha 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 ha. And there'll probably be no second movie that was amazing, and you see the issue here. Anyway, yes, this is pretty much a typical Defense Squad post. I don't want to throw any hate towards this person, even though this person doesn't like me, but it just seems like that whole, like, trust Sega, or other companies have done this withholding shit before, so why is it okay to go at Sega for doing? It's just, At the end of the day, if Frontiers is a masterpiece, I will be happy and I will forgive Sega for what I consider to be mid-market in. But it's just like, the only thing I agree with here is that multimedia is the focus now. And yeah, it is the focus. And that's the only reason why this shit is happening. No one is denying that open world games take longer to make, okay? It's just, their style of marketing is very, just trust us, we got this. And it's like, no, we don't trust you, okay? Even members of the Defense Squad are going, listen, show us some shit. Okay, the movie been out, you guys have topped the box office of video game movies, like, show us the games. Even the Defense Squad are doing this shit now. It's getting harder and harder to stay optimistic. Congratulations, you're a Sonic fan. Yes, it's true. Every Sonic fan, once you've been a Sonic fan long enough, has gone through their period of, you know, being the most optimistic, which is usually when you were first a fan, and then the slow decline. And for me, the decline really started around 2010, but got really bad in 2017. I did did a whole tier list of ranking every single year of Sonic. You can check that video out if you want the full dish. But yeah, I think after 2017 is when I was finally done with their bullshit, finally done with the excuses, and it's like, listen, their marketing is shit. Like, it's shit, okay? But it's fine, because all that matters at the end of the day is if the game is good. Because you could have great marketing for a shit game, and you could have shit marketing for a great game. And quite frankly, as a Sonic fan, I'd rather have the latter. If Frontiers was so poorly marketed that they just shadow dropped it in November with no gameplay, but then the game was a masterpiece, I would still be sucking Sega's dick. But like, if they had the best marketing in the world and the game was still mid, then who gives a fuck, right? So at the end of the day, yes, I'm impatient because it's been how many years since Forces, and it's been over a decade since Generations, which is the last time 3D Sonic was good. But all that matters at the end is the gameplay, and I don't believe this secretive marketing is doing them any favors. If the game is really that fire, I feel like we should have seen it by now, but at the end of the day, it wouldn't have been as big of a problem if there was enough game content to keep us satiated. But because now the games are like the X main series and the multimedia is there, we've entered this era of new fans where it's like, there's no drought, we got a movie or a Knuckles show or whatever. So it's like, Sonic is in people's heads, Sega's making a profit, they don't give a fuck if the profit comes from a movie or a game as long as it's profit. So the game fans are really the only ones getting shafted here. And since the game fans are becoming a small amount of the community and more people are more invested in the multimedia stuff, I guess we get left behind, right? At the end of the day, because if they couldn't rely on multimedia, guess what we'd be getting right now? We'd be getting multiple games. I'm not saying everything has to be like main series. I'm not saying a game every year or something in terms of like Sonic Team games, but like Sega could have commissioned their IP to some talented team and given us a Silver and Blaze spin-off game that's inspired by Sonic gameplay, but it's still its own thing. Like, we could have had a Silver and Blaze game. We could have had a Tails game. I mean, Tails is a bitch, but I mean, he deserves one game to himself, right? Yes, I know he had one on the Game Gear, but I mean, like an actual 3D Tails game with some mechanic X Tornado type shit. I don't know. A Knuckles and Rouge game? I don't know. Another attempt at a Shadow game? I don't know. There's so much they could be doing with like the games and all that stuff, but because the movies are getting the money for them, it's like, you ain't gonna do all that shit. It's just a lot of missed potential from a game standpoint. But at the end of the day, we're in the multimedia era. That's what they're gonna do, right? You can say, oh, we got a game, we got Sonic Microtransaction Simulator, and if you really think that counts, I mean, I don't know what to say, but you know. Anyway, man, let me know what you guys think about this. We got a huge, well-written Defense Squad article with, I believe, to be a lot of holes in it, but you know, you might disagree. At the end of the day, as I said, all that matters at the end is the gameplay. So if they want to take 2 centuries to show it, then it better fucking be good, because I'm sick of this bullshit. Even the Optimus Sonic fans are losing their patience. There's a part of me that just wants them to just not show anything, just to watch all the people that were like, stay optimistic, just to watch them all just slowly like crack and just become as impatient as I've been since pretty much when they first revealed the CG trailer with no gameplay. Just to watch them question Sega's decisions the way they questioned me for questioning Sega's decisions a few months before. But yeah, man, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. Make sure to check out the non-Sonic channel. The link will be in the description. But that's all I have to say right now. So, Remy out.